Yeah? Say go, Daddy? Go, Daddy.
Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Red Light SK Modified Series here tonight from the Stafford Motor Speedway. It's the RacingSchool.net 100. And, well, as always on a Friday night, it is Muth up here in the booth. Right alongside me, it's the man from Tennessee, Jason Dobbs. Jason, you know a little bit about short track racing. This is right up your alley. It's just a little half-mile bull ring here in Connecticut.
Yeah, it's flat track. Looks like to me, you know, it should be a good little action-packed track for us tonight.
Yeah, it looks like 14 drivers have made their way into the Stafford Motor Speedway here. This is going to be an exciting one. Well, for one reason mainly. After tonight, there's only 2 more races left in the championship hunt. 3 if you count tonight's 100 laps, 50 miles the distance. So it's Stafford, Irwindale, and Martinsville coming up in the next few weeks. It's really going to test these drivers. It's really going to show right here who's going to stand out in the championship hunt. Let's drop the point standings down here for the Red Light SK Modified Series here. Coming into the Stafford Motor Speedway, this is how they look. It is Chuck Sweeting leading the point standings here. Blade Timmons is sitting there just 6 points back. And just sitting 14 points out of the championship lead, it's Josh Buckley, and he has 2 wins on the season. He's going to be looking tonight to get his 3rd win of the season. Brian Robinson's been very consistent this year. He sits 34 points out. It is not over yet for the driver of that 37. He's here tonight in Connecticut, and he's going to see what he can do from the Stafford Speedway. Dan Butler is also sitting right there. He's only 41 points out, and that's pretty much where we're looking at the cut line in the next few races. Right around that 5th place and up, still has a really good shot. Alexander Edelman is 6th in the point standings, and unfortunately, I'm looking at it, Jason, I don't see him in this lobby, so that gap that he has between himself and Chuck Sweeting is going to grow ever. It's just going to grow at this point if he's not in the race tonight.
Yeah, that's a huge breaking point right there for that driver.
Sitting in 7th here tonight in the point standings is Lyle Christensen. He is 79 points out, and I just think that's too far. Edelman might have had a chance if he was here in Connecticut, but unfortunately the car is not on the hauler. Max Terriot north of the border. He is our first driver this season with 3 wins on the series. Unfortunately, he missed a handful of races here this season, and he is sitting in the 8th spot. Travis Minto is 9th, and yours truly here in the booth when he raced the beginning of the season here. We're still sitting a solid 10th in the point standings, and we might just stay there because the man that's sitting behind me, Michael Trevarthen, is not in the lobby tonight. He is 11th in point. TJ Wood is sitting 12th. Don Goldman is 13th. The Montana man, Doug Ungari, is 14th. David Camara is 15th. TJ McGuire back in action here tonight. He is 16th in the point standings. Rob Nelson, 17th. Danny Valenzuela is 18th. James Heater is 19th. And rounding out your top 20 in points is going to be Brandon Wilkinson. That's your top 20 in points with just 3 races left here in the SK Modified Series. The points are going to heat up here tonight when we leave this Stafford Motor Speedway. And, I mean, Dobbs, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty much ready to head to qualifying here in just 2 minutes as Josh Buckley takes over the top spot here in practice.
Yeah, me too. I've raced these cars a little bit here and there, but I'm excited to actually watch a nice full race of it and learn a little bit and see how aggressive these guys are. It's going to be interesting tonight, I believe.
Friday night short track action here for the RacingSchool.net 100 coming at you in just a moment here as the live qualifying just a minute and 30 seconds away.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Stafford Motor Speedway for the RacingSchool.net 100. Qualifying is underway. A couple drivers have taken themselves out there on the track. One of the drivers that are just going to finish up their qualifying as we come back, it's Travis Minto. He has the F5 IPA machine out there right now, slotted in the 5th position. Another one of the drivers just rolling out here out of the Turn 3 Racing Network stables, the Sim Speed Shop Fanatec Spy Plus machine. It's going to be the 00 of Doug Ungari out of the Montana region. Doug making his second trip back here after moving out of California all the way to Montana. So Montana Doug is going to go on the clock here at the Stafford Speedway. Jason, I talked to a couple of these drivers as Chuck Sweeting goes to the top of the board. They were talking about this car is going to be really tight, and then it's going to become really loose here tonight. It's going to be snappy loose coming out of the corners when these guys go to get back to the throttle as Ungari goes to 7th on the board. It's something that we're going to have to watch, and as you see it right there, Ungari's going to go around here on his second lap. He's going to go cut the grass down the backstretch here, so it'll be one and done for the 00 of Doug Ungari. So just like we were talking about at Dobbs, this track is not going to be very favorable to the tires tonight.
Yeah, that's something crazy because they got that big old wide tire. It looks like when they throw the power to it, it'll stick and go. But that's interesting right here. I'm going to tune in and watch this for sure.
Max Terriot our friend from north of the border. He is here tonight in the 42 unsponsored machine out of Canada. He will be now on the clock, as actually that is his first timed lap, and it's going to be good enough for the third fastest position right now with an 18.811 on lap number 1. Here comes the second lap, just like that. 18-second laps, just call it about 19 flat here for a lot of these drivers tonight. Second lap for Terrio, going to be into the 19-second bracket, so he'll revert back to lap number 1. Now the Safe Flight Auto Glass number 2. Two-time winner on this season, Josh Buckley. Going to come across the line on his second lap time, and, well, same song and dance. Lap number 1 for the 2 here of Buckley was faster. Out there on track, it's the man who runs second in points, just 6 points out of the championship lead. It's going to be the 23 here of Timmons. Timmons going to try and see if he can get himself a good starting spot here tonight, as it doesn't look like this is going to be a favorable track for the 23 of Timmons. It was good enough for the 9th fastest time. And the final driver to qualify here tonight is going to be the 3 of Chris Fritz. Fritz making his second appearance here with the Red Light SK Modified Series. He ran just 1 week ago at the Richmond Raceway. He started in the 13th position, and he worked his way all the way up to finish in the 9th spot. Tonight, he is the 14th qualifier to take to the green flag here tonight. So he is officially on the clock here as he goes down into turn 3 and 4. You see him about a lane, just about a half a lane off the bottom groove, and it's going to be a 19.516, and it's going to be a one and done for the driver of the number 3, and that's going to do it for qualifying. All 14 drivers here tonight did take a qualifying attempt, so we will head off into our starting lineup here tonight. Starting lineup is brought to us by the RacingSchool.net for the Racing School 100. The Racing School based out of the Thompson Speedway. It's an extreme racing experience like you fans have never had. Get yourself behind the wheel, or, well, in the seat at least, at the RacingSchool.net. They have some pretty cool packages up there at the Thompson Speedway. You could possibly hop behind if you're a qualified racer, right behind the wheel of one of these open wheel modifieds. So we got to thank the Racing School for all they do behind the scenes here with the Red Light Scrambler Series, and an absolute awesome partnership here. Let's take you through this starting lineup here tonight as everybody takes to the grid. Starting on row number 1, it'll be the 26 of Chuck Sweeting. To his outside of the last time we saw him, we parked the 83 in victory lane. It'll be TJ McGuire. Starting on row number 2, it's Max Terriot from Canada in the 42, and it's the Safe Light Auto Glass number 2 of Joshua Buckley. So 2 of your most winningest drivers on the season going to start side by side in row number 2. Row number 3, it's Mr. Consistency, the 37 of Brian Robinson. And last week on the podium for the first time ever on a Friday night, it's Don Coleman in the 97 machine. Row number 4, it's the RacingSchool.net entry. It's going to be the 33 of Dan Butler, and making his first start, it's going to be the number 6 here of Kurt Smith. Row number 5, it'll be the 23 of Blaine Timmons and the Mountain Man of Doug Ungari. Row number 6 here tonight, it'll be the 64 car driven by TJ Wood. The 52 of Lyle Christensen going to start right alongside him. Starting out row number 7, it'll be the 19 of Travis Minto. And rounding out the 14 car field here tonight at the Stafford Speedway, it will be the 3 of Chris Fritz making his second ever start on Friday night. Dobbs, I don't know about you, but it's Friday night. That means it's the beginning of the weekend, and that means short track racing here in Connecticut.
I'm fired up, buddy. I feel like I'm at home at the local dirt track right here. Let's go. Turn it on.
Yeah, we're not running the dirt track. Not a lot of dirt tracks up there in the northeast. We're called the Northeast. I feel Pennsylvania is part of that Northeast, and we have more dirt tracks than we know what to do with. Tonight, we're going to keep them on the asphalt here. A lot of grass down there on the infield if a lot of these drivers want to go cut the grass. But right now, the iRacing pace car is going to cut off the track. Put 100 laps on the board here tonight from the Stafford Motor Speedway. In your RacingSchool.net 100, the green flag is officially waving. Here we go. 50 miles going to be the distance as they head towards turn number 1 for the first time. It'll be the Sweeting in the 26 machine down to the bottom, and that seems like that's going to be the preferred line. Max Terriot going to battle for the second position as they storm down the backstretch for the first time, headed towards turn number 3. leading lap number 1 here tonight. It'll be the 26 of Chuck Sweeting. So he's going to put his name into the book tonight. He will get himself a lap led, and the battle for that second position, it is officially going to be shown as the 42 of Max Terriot. You see him now into that second position. TJ McGuire falls into the third spot. You got to go a little bit farther back. I believe that's Dan Butler in the Racing School 33 entry down to the bottom there, trying to get around Don Coleman. Coleman stuck to the outside, and Butler's going to take the position. Now here comes Timmons in that 23 machine as they work into turn number 3.
Looks like they're trying to fight for that bottom groove right there, Roger.
Yeah, it reminds you of an old Bristol Motor Speedway style. Remember when Bristol was really the short track king? It was the last great Coliseum, as now Coleman's going to find a home there in front of TJ Wood as they work down the backstretch. It's one of those tracks. It's flat, and it's very wide in the corners. So, you know, if you get stuck to that outside, there might not be a way to get down to the bottom. A little bit of a battle back here. Here comes the 52, Kristen Sid, going around the PPG Mobile 1 entry here of Kurt Smith. Smith sideways out of turn number 2. He's going to just about wad the 6 car up, but he gathers it up. Travis Minto's going to give him the space to catch the 6, and he is going to have a little bit of blinking issues, but the 6 of Smith going to go from inside the top 10, now currently running in the 13th spot as he found the home there between the Fritz machine and the Minto car out there on track. Right now, though, it is all the 26 of Chuck Sweeting here tonight. 6 laps about to be in the books out of the 100 scheduled, as right behind them it looks like Butler gonna be passed to the inside here. Contact between the Racing School entry 33 of Butler. He goes around and finds the catch fence in turn 1.
Ooh, little contact, huh, Rod?
Yeah, that's that short track racing we were talking about here on a Friday night. The Racing School 33 of Dan Butler is going to go around, but I think that car is going to be all right. I don't think it made too much contact to that inside wall. Well, let's see if we can queue up that Turn 3 racing replay and throw it back here. What happened with Butler? There's the Racing School entry on the outside in corner number 3. Everything looked good there. Down into turn number 1 is where this contact is going to come. Timmons goes to the inside, makes just the slightest contact with the rub rail on that left-hand side of that 33 of Butler. And Butler going to park it up against the fence, and he will point the ship in the right direction, and he will get pointed in the right. Yeah, but I'm looking at that car, and I don't see too much damage there, Dobbs. I think he got away with a little bit one right there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lucky break. Hit the left front pretty good, but looks like the guardrail got more damage than that left front tire, so he should be all right.
So it does look like the 33 of Butler will come down pit road. So will Travis Minto. So Butler does have a quick repair here tonight on a Friday night with the Red Light SK Modified Series. It is the only series that the Red Light division runs with a quick repair. So if Butler were to need a quick repair, he could use it here. Currently, 9 laps in the books have all been led by the man out front. Chuck Sweeting so far has led every lap here tonight. Chuck Sweeting, remember, came in as your points championship leader. He had a 6-point lead over Timmons, and Timmons currently sitting back in that 6th position. So he has a lot of work to do, and so far, Dobbs, we've seen that short track racing action here at the Stafford Speedway. I don't know. It's going to be hard for that 23 of Timmons to move up through the field to get the Chuck Sweeting, and he is actually going to line up here on the outside.
Yeah, just watching that 26 there, he was checked out and gone. He was leaving them all in the taillights right there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's got to work his way up to the front here.
10% of this race already in the books here at Stafford Speedway. We got to thank everybody for tuning in here on a Friday night. It is short track racing action. We won't get to race them under the lights. You're going to see the sun go down. It is about, I believe, 8 o'clock here in the sim. For these drivers, 90 more laps, but the iRacing pace car is going to turn off the track here. So put the green flag back in the air here on lap number 12. It'll be Chuck Sweeting, Max Terriot leading us back down here into turn number 1. Green flag is back waving here at the Stafford Speedway, and they are racing towards turn number 1. Sweeting's going to get a really good start. Terriot's going to hold strong there. Here comes TJ McGuire in the Hoosier 83 machine, though. He's going to be able to poke his nose in there right now. Terriot's going to be hanging onto the outside. Just behind him, Timmons also hanging onto the outside. Now, Max Terriot's going to have an opening there. He's going to file back in line here, back into the 2nd position. And so it's Sweeting, Terriot, McGuire, your top 3.
Yeah, I like when they get single filed out, racing for that position to get single file. That makes it interesting.
Yeah, it was the hardest we've seen anybody so far tonight here battle on that outside groove, and Terriot will take that position back a little bit farther back behind them. It's the 00 of Doug Ungario. Don Coleman going to get a little sideways in his iRacing.com 97 machine. He went up the track. He's leaving the bottom lane open. Ungari right now is pinched down onto the bottom. I believe that's TJ Wood in the 64 having a little bit of connection issues down there. Ungari, as they're almost 3 wide down the front stretch into 1. Contact between the 3 and the 00. As they were 3 wide. Dobbs going down into turn 1. This little half-mile track isn't very wide, but they were 3 wide like they were at Talladega.
Well, that's what I was talking about. I felt like I was in there somewhere going 3 wide, racing for position.
Yeah, a lot of good racing. Unfortunately, the yellow flag going to fly once again here from the Stafford Motor Speedway. It's going to involve 3 drivers. We'll have to cue the replay. We know Ungari, Chris Fritz, and I believe it may have been Christensen also involved in that one. Let's cue the replay. Let's see, as we're a little bit too close. Let's throw it back here. Let's go from over top here. Aerial coverage here tonight from the Stafford Motor Speedway, brought to us by the Racing School. They are 3 wide. There it is. Christensen showed the nose, and then just that slight contact there from Ungari into the 3 of Chris Fritz, and spins Fritz around. Looks like the 33 of Butler got a little piece of that. Maybe Travis Minto also, and Kurt Smith. So a couple guys making a little contact, but I don't think it's too much. Remember, though, it is open wheel modified racing, and sometimes these cars do get a little more damage than what we really see here on track. Let's see if we can go back there. We already are past where the initial incident happened. A little bit farther back here. Producer, can we find an actual good replay? Here we go. Let's see as they all come slow motion here into turn number 1. There you see the 52 of Christensen down to the inside. Ungari in that 00. Just gonna... the 3 comes down just the slightest bit. Ungari's there. They're 3 wide. That's just hard-nosed racing here. And sometimes things like that will happen on short tracks.
Oh, yeah, all the time. These short tracks, that's what makes the fans pack the stands on local Friday nights right here.
So that puts us under our second caution flag here of the night. And it does look like a couple of guys will take the opportunity to come down pit road. Travis Minto, Chris Fritz, Doug Ungari all elected to bring their machines down pit road. So, you know, Ungari looks like he is trying to get as much damage done and fixed to that 00. As there he will pull the Turn 3 Racing Network, Ungari Motorsports, Sim Speed Shop, Fanatec, Spy Plus machine back out onto the racetrack. And still looks like it's pretty clean. Have to see how much damage is really done once we get back to green flag racing action. It's Chuck Sweeting, Max Terriot, TJ McGuire, Josh Buckley, Blade Timmons, Brian Robinson, Don Coleman, TJ Wood, Lyle Christensen, and Kurt Smith are your top 10 drivers here as we head into turn number 3. We will get the green flag waving here, this time by turn number 4 on lap 20 of this 100-lap main event tonight. There it is, green flag back in the air, and look at Max Terriot. He got a really good jump to that outside. Will he be able to battle off turn number 2? He's going to have some momentum built up. Sweeting is going to have to do the battle down into turn 3 as they are still side by side here on this restart. Who's going to lead the first lap back to green? It looks like Chuck Sweeting by the bumper rail on that modified.
I tell you what, he's pushing it outside out there.
Yeah, his push is going to run out right there as he's back down to the inside. Look at Blade Timmons now. He's working over the 2. The Safe Light Auto Glass number 2 there of Josh Buckley. Buckley seeing if he can try and just sneak in between him and Coleman now. And the driver out of Stafford Springs, Connecticut will find a home there in the 4th position. 5th position, actually, as Timmons got around him. So he'll be slotted right in front of the 97 of Don Coleman. Everybody has now single filed out here on lap 22. Closest battle back here is that damn Butler machine.
Maybe they just had early green jitters there, Roger. They're a little bit antsy wanting to go.
Well, here comes Dan Butler, and here comes the 3 of Chris Fritz. I know I was a little antsy to get ready to rock and roll here tonight. Contact between Minto and Fritz. Minto's going to go up the track in his F5 IPA machine. He is going to fall back to the 14th position. See if he's going to be able to catch back up. Doug Ungari also back there in the 14 spot back out on track. Here's the battle, though. Kurt Smith to the inside of Mr. Consistent. They're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch here again. Wood to the inside. Smith in the middle. Robinson out top. Oh, boy, how did they make that into turn number 1? Dobbs, it is besides me. I have no idea. 3 drivers, 3 wide, and they single file it out now into turn number 3. It's Smith, Wood, then Robinson, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Whew, Roger about spit my Riley energy drink right there. That was a tight fit for them 3 drivers.
What some good short track racing. Lyle Christensen going to go up the track with a huge wiggle down there in turn 1. He was able to catch the nose of that car, though, before it went and snapped around on him. So he will sit right in front of that 33 of Dan Butler. Lyle Christensen missing a couple races this season, but he's back here at Stafford in that 52 machine. Now runs into the 10th position, and he's looking to run down Mr. Consistency of Robinson, who runs in the 9th spot. Nothing has changed out front right now, race fans. It's still Sweeting, and actually he has started to open up about a second and a half as Buckley's looking to the inside here on the 83. So Buckley's looking to take over the 4th spot from the McGuire crew. But look at TJ. Oh, McGuire's going to stuff it into the wall. And actually, I'm not sure what happened there. Blade Timmons involved, and he is in a heap of smoke on the backstretch, as that took a couple of your leaders along with the driver of that 23. We will have to throw it back and dissect what exactly just happened there. That's a unusual place to lose a car about halfway down the straightaway. Cue the replay. Oh, he just loses it right off turn number 2. Stuffs it in the wall. Max Terriot nowhere to go. TJ McGuire nowhere to go, and the track is blocked. Lyle Christensen going to go up and ride the wall. Let's throw this one back here and actually watch. This is the previous lap you're watching here. So you can see Chuck Sweeting out front. Timmons is currently shown in the 2nd spot here as they cross the line. Right behind them, that's the 42 there of Max Terriot. It's going to happen here off of turn 2. Watch the 23. That car just goes dead right. Like something happened. The car got like super loose and then it caught tight and nowhere for Terriot to go. Nowhere for McGuire to go. Maybe we can throw it back a little bit here and see if we can go on board. On the nose there of TJ McGuire. You just absolutely nowhere to go for McGuire. So a bunch of your front runners going to get wrapped up in this one. So that's going to change the running order here tonight. It's going to still have Chuck Sweeting up there in the top spot, but it's going to be Josh Buckley, Kurt Smith now in 3rd, TJ Wood. Brian Robinson has worked his way up into the top 5 after that incident. Dan Butler is 6th. Doug Ungori is 7th. Travis Minto is running in the 8th spot. Don Coleman is now 9th. And the first one that was wrapped up in that accident is going to be the 83 of TJ McGuire, rounding out the top 10. So that's going to shake and bake things out there, Dobbs. And that's not one of those accidents that you see too often.
No, not really, but it's like we were talking earlier. They said they get loose coming out of the corner, and it looks like he just got a little loose, try to correct it, and big wide tire caught the fence. Chain reaction.
Looks like all 14 drivers, though, will stay on the lead lap. Timmons going to come back out. I think he had to, well, I don't think, I absolutely know. Timmons is going to have to use his quick repair, and now he's going to start shotgun to the field and see if he can come back up through. It's going to be interesting to see if that 23 is still as fast as it was in the early stages of this race. 32 laps about to be in the books here on the green flag. Green flag is waving once again in tonight's Racing School.net 100. Outside lane for Buckley, not going to work like it has for Max Terriot. He's going to fall back into that spot as they are still 2 by 2 behind him. That's the Don Coleman machine. The 97 of Coleman to the inside here of the 33 of Butler. Butler going to swiggle. It's going to wiggle again out of the corner 4. He's going to lose the position to Coleman, and now he's got to watch out because here comes the ever ferocious Canadian Maple Leaf. It's Max Terriot now to the inside of the 33 of Dan Butler. He's going to make it look easy. He's just going to go right around Dan Butler. Butler's been out there for 24 laps on those tires, though, so that outside lane and used tires here at Stafford Motor Speedway, it's going to chew him up, and it's going to put him in a bad position as you see TJ McGuire get around Butler now. Butler running into the 10th position.
Yeah, here comes Ungari looking to pick up a position also on that inside.
Ungari has the freshest tires right now inside the top 6 as he is looking to the inside of the 37 there of Brian Robinson, and it looks like he's going to get it. He's got pressure from behind him. He's got even fresher tires. 6-lap used tires on the 42 of Max Terriot. So Ungari's got to step on the throttle here and get going, and they are jockeying for position behind him as we go on board with, look at that handsome fella on the back of Doug Ungari's car. It's Muth in the booth as you see that Maple Leaf. It may be an all-black car, and it's definitely an intimidating car as here comes the 42 of Terriot. He's going to look to the inside here. Will he be able to get around Doug Ungari as they work into turn 1? Ungari's going to go straight up the track. Now, that 42 of Max Terriot will take over the 5th position, and now he's going to be hungry like a wolf.
Nice catchphrase.
That sounded good in my head. Another battle. It looks like TJ McGuire is going to get around Don Coneman for the 7th position, and now he will set his eyes on the 00 of Doug Ungari. Ungari has those 21-lap used tires, but McGuire, one of those guys that was wrapped up in that last wreck, he had to go back down pit road to get 4 fresh rubbers put on that. I'm going to guess he's using Hoosiers here tonight at the Stafford Motor Speedway on that SK Modified door bag there between the 83 and the 00.
Yeah, and got a battle for the lead up there, Roger, between Chuck and Josh.
Where did the 2 of Buckley come out of nowhere to battle for the lead? He's going to look to the inside. He doesn't have a lap led just yet. He's going to actually get the lead from Chuck Sweeting. Look at Kurt Smith, though. He is right there. Could it be the Cinderella story of the PPG Mobile 1 rookie? Somebody's going around. I hear the tire spinning. It's the Blade Timmons machine. Dan Butler's back the RacingSchool.net machine into the fence. That will bring us to the yellow flag right before the halfway point here tonight. So a couple drivers wrapped up in that one. I also see Lyle Christensen has been down pit road for a little bit, about 3 laps ago. He had taken the 52 to pit road. So we will have to take it back onto the Turn 3 Racing replay here and see if we can find out what went wrong between those 2 drivers. Timmons down to the inside on the 33 of Butler, going to make contact, and that's what's going to put us under the yellow flag circumstances. See if we can ride on board here with the 23 of Timmons. Oh, there you see it. Just 2 of the rub bars going to get together, and that's what's going to turn Dan Butler around into the outside fence. The good thing for Butler, though, he backed it into the fence, so there's going to be no damage to the steering column, and there won't be any damage to the motor of that modified, so that's going to maybe save him just a little bit. Well, as we get ever closer to the halfway point here tonight in your Racing School 100 at the Stafford Motor Speedway, we got to thank all the fans for tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on a Friday night. Always here with the Red Light SK Modified Series. This halfway point right here on lap 44 going to be brought to you by the Muth in the Booth koozie. It always keeps all your adult beverages or your soda pops nice and cool here. And tonight, with the drivers being a little hot and heavy in the seats, I'm sure they're looking for a nice, cool, refreshing beverage. So it's brought to you by the Muth in the Booth koozie.
It keeps my routed energies cold.
That's right. You won the raffle giveaway a couple weeks ago and received your koozie via mail down in Tennessee.
Oh, it is orange. What a coincidence right there, Roger.
Well, I don't know if it's Tennessee Vol Orange or Syracuse Nation Orange.
That's definitely Tennessee Orange all the way. But let's not talk sports right now, Roger. Let's get back and watch this sim racing here.
We are here at the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway, just a little half-mile bull ring in Connecticut. And we do welcome everybody in for a Friday night, a little bit of relief as everything that's going on all over the world. So we hope all of our viewers are safe out there, and we hope all your families are also safe. All one big family here on the Sim Racing platform, especially here with the Red Light SK Modified Series and your Turn 3 Racing Network. We, once again, wish everybody well during these times. Stay safe out there, fans. And what do you say we go back racing here 46 laps about to be in the books. It'll be 54 laps to go here at Stafford tonight. Josh Buckley, Chuck Sweeting on the front row. Kurt Smith, TJ Wood behind them. Chuck Sweeting trying to make that outside lane work. He saw how Max Terriot was able to carry the momentum. He's going to carry the momentum down into 3. Josh Buckley gonna hold that bottom lane there. First lap back, Chuck Sweeting gonna beat Buckley to the line, and Buckley gonna carry the bottom. He's gonna try and make it around. This is the first time, Dobbs, all night long we've seen the leaders side by side for more than 2 laps. Last time we saw that, Buckley was to the inside. Oh, Kurt Smith gonna go sideways in turn 4. He stacks him up behind him. Max Terriot had to check up. Don Coleman had to check up. TJ Wood on the outside. He's going to get a little rub rail with the 42. They single file out for your top 4 positions.
I tell you what, at 26, he's really working the outside lane, swinging down the bottom, down in that corner. That's a pretty smart move, in my opinion.
As the battle still rages on behind them, Coleman trying to get TJ Wood. Wood is going to get him, and now he's going to have to battle with TJ McGuire. The TJs are loose here tonight at the Stafford Speedway race fan. Which one is going to win it? Could it be Wood? Could it be McGuire winning his second one? He's got the Hoosier Purple 83 machine right now in the 7th position, trying to work over. Look at the block down the backstretch. The 6 of Smith going to throw a block on the 42 of Terriot. And that's going to bring TJ Wood back into the fold here. So they are not side by side, but they are nose to tail as Smith's going to blink out a little bit coming down the front straightaway. He will now fall in line. Everybody has single filed out here now on lap 52. Just over the halfway point tonight, we have 2 drivers who have decided to load him up and put him on the trailers. The 52 of Lyle Christensen has put that 52 on the trailer along with the 23 of Timmons. You saw Timmons wrapped up in 2 incidents here tonight, and he has decided to now park that 23 machine. So both those drivers, and you know, Dobbs, we talked about the point standings coming into this race. Blade Timmons was second in points, only 6 point out. Now dropping out of this race at the halfway point, he's going to be credited with just a 13th place finish. That's going to be huge in the points, especially when Chuck Sweeting is in the lead and Josh Buckley is running second, the 2 guys he's battling in the championship hunt.
Yeah, that's going to be really huge. You know, every position counts late in these race seasons, and it's going to be a big hit for him.
Coleman almost making contact with that outside wall out of turn 4. As you see, the sun is going down here at Stafford. The temperatures are heating up, though, inside these sim rigs. Coleman going to go sideways out on turn number 2. How did he hang on to the iRacing.com 97? I have no clue. Chris Fritz had to really take the invasive action there in the number 3 machine. He had to hit the hooks, otherwise he was going to drive right through Don Coleman, and he did exactly some excellent driving like you would really want to see out there, because if that was real life, that could have got ugly quick. Max Terriot, though, putting the pressure on the 6. The 6 going to bobble in between 3 and 4 there. And he's going to use every inch of track out of turn number 4, coming onto the front straightaway. Right now it's Sweeting, Buckley, Smith, Terriot, and Wood. Your top 5 drivers here with just 43 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of settling out now. Running a little single file halfway through this race.
Some good short track racing action. Couple cautions here to start the night off, but now these boys have settled into a little bit of a groove. They can go the rest of the way on fuel. The question being, though, can those 2 drivers out front a big wiggle once again by Smith out of turn number 4. He hangs on to it. Max Terriot shows the nose. He's going to get a wheel in there. He's going to go to the inside here on the 6 of Smith out of turn number 2. It'll be the drag race down the backstretch here into 3, and it looks like that 42 of Max Terriot has the fresh tires, and he has the inside advantage. Smith is going to wiggle again in turn 3 and 4. He is going to lose the position to Terriot. Now he will lose the position possibly to TJ Wood. Wood is on the hunt. He is bringing the other TJ along with him. The TJs are still loose here in Connecticut. Somebody tell them that we have a TJ problem out here tonight. TJ Wood going to go sideways out of 4. He's going to go down onto the grass. No caution going to be thrown here.
Ooh, that's huge right there.
So TJ Wood going to go from running in the 4th position now right out of the top 10. He is shown in the 11th spot. And I don't know what happened, Dobbs. I'm looking at it. Chuck Sweeting has disappeared off the timing and scoring.
Oh, yeah, I don't see him either. Oh, this is huge right here. He's dropping like a fly.
He is back. He's in front of Josh Buckley, but it's showing him a lap down because of his internet. Sometimes when there's a problem to the iRacing server via your side of things, things like this can happen, and Chuck Sweeting is dropping ping connection to the iRacing server, shown currently 1 lap down. That is going to be huge because Josh Buckley has the lead, but how long will Buckley have it? Because if we look back here on our camera, right behind him off the Safe Light Auto Glass rear camera face, there is the Maple Leaf, Max Terriol. He is coming to battle, and actually he is bringing along Kurt Smith. Smith is starting to kind of run these boys back down. Last time by, the fastest car on track was the 42 of Max Terriol, and he's able to hold that bottom a little bit better than Josh Buckley. Buckley sideways. He is spinning off turn number 4. Buckley in the Safe Light Auto Glass car down into the grass. He's going to do a donut and right back out onto the track.
Oh, man. This is going to get interesting right here.
Yeah, no caution flag flying here at Stafford for the spin. The single car spin by our leader of Josh Buckley. You saw it live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Buckley going to go around, and that's got huge championship implications. Buckley coming into tonight, sitting 14 points out of the championship lead, looking like he had a solid top 5 car at least. Now finds himself just inside the top 10 as Travis Minto was behind him. And Dobbs, you got to ask yourself, yeah, the 2 of Buckley didn't hit anything, but he was down there in the grass, and when he went around, those rear tires were lighted up. They could be pretty hot and slick here the rest of the way.
Yeah, and plus you have all that grass on the tires too. You know, that could throw a big monkey wrench in it. It's going to be interesting right here. Just about 30 to go.
30 laps to go, and the newcomer of Kurt Smith finds himself running in that second position. Could it be a Cinderella story? Could it be a guy who hasn't run before on a Friday night with these boys win it? Or could it be TJ McGuire in the Hoosier machine? TJ McGuire going to go to the inside with his purple Hoosier 83. He will work around the Kurt Smith PPG Mobile Oil number 6. So it'll be Terriol, McGuire, and Smith, your top 3. Last week's podium finisher, the 97 of Don Coleman. He is sitting currently right behind Kurt Smith, not by much, call about a half-second gap. If we can get that roll bar camera here that's on Don Coleman's car, you can see the number 6 of Kurt Smith just out in front of him, and Don Coleman does have the fresher tires of the 2, but don't look now. Also, right behind him, there's the black number 3, the purple rub rail on the front of that car. That's Chris Fritz. And Dobbs, remind me if I'm wrong, was Chris Fritz not involved in an accident a little bit earlier on in this race?
I do believe he was. He's got that black 3 coming to the front right here late in the race.
So right now, Chris Fritz on the move. Don Coleman is also running down Kurt Smith. This could be a battle yet before the end of things. Looking at it, 29 laps to go this time by for the 42 of Max Terriol. Terriol already has 3 wins on the season. He could be looking to notch himself a 4th win this season, and that's going to put him in some rare air, that is for sure. They always tell me that the air is pretty rare up in Canada, and right now, whatever Max Terriol is breathing, whatever he is sipping on, I know a lot of these guys would like to have it here tonight.
Maybe it's one of those new Rowdy energy drinks, Roger.
I was thinking he's got one of those Muth in the Booth koozies with maybe, well, race fans, I'm saving everybody's life one Corona at a time, and that's what we got in the koozie here tonight. I'm looking out there on track, though, Dobbs. I see a 26 back in action, but I see him 5 laps down.
Yeah, that really, though, that helps Blade Timmons there since he was not that far in the points, and then Chuck has a problem with his connection, so the points championship's going to be a little bit tighter as we end this race.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on those point standings. Right now, Buckley's going to have the upper hand because he is still out there on the lead lap. Yeah, he went from leading to the 9th position. He is still running 9th. He has started to pull away from the Travis Minto machine. He has not been able to run down, though, the mountain man of Ungari. He has about a half straightaway lead over him. Ungari right now running in the 8th position with that Turn 3 Racing Network car. And remember, Ungari was also a victim to an incident a little bit earlier on as they were 3 wide here tonight. How about this man that has rebounded, though? He's driving the racing school entry here tonight at the Stafford Speedway. And, well, it is Dan Butler. He's got the sponsors' logos on the side of that car. It is all painted up, race fans, just like one of the cars at the racing school. You can race, well, you can get in the seat, at least, at the Thompson Speedway in that exact car. It is a complete replica, number, fonts, color. It is all. The only thing missing from the car up at the Thompson Speedway to that one is there's no seat here in the sim to ride passenger, but don't worry. Look at this, race fans. We got something just for you. This is what it would look like if we were riding shotgun with Dan Butler here around. Let's take a couple laps around the Stafford Speedway with Dan Butler. Some excellent car control out there by Dan Butler. That racing shot brought to you tonight by the Racing School. So Dan Butler right now running in that 6th position. Last time by, he was faster than the Chris Fritz machine. You saw the gap starting to close. Dan Butler could have a possibility of working his way into the top 5 here. Just 19 laps to go tonight in the RacingSchool.net 100 at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Max Terriot, though, has opened up a huge gap over TJ McGuire. It is a 2-second lead. There you see it. A half straightaway is what separates your leader to second place tonight. Kurt Smith still hanging on to that spot. Don Coleman has been able to get there, but he has not been able to get around that number 6 of Smith here tonight, and the laps are winding down. Dobbs, do you think if Coleman can get to him with about 6 to go, there might be the old 3-tap Teddy rule on the back of that 6 machine? Sometimes it happens in NASCAR. Sometimes it happens at our local short tracks. The Stafford Motor Speedway half-mile track. Well, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this one, race fans, and it's going to be heating up for this 3rd position. Coleman is still there once again. The sun is setting, and racing is picking up for sure. 15 laps to go here at Stafford, and I'm watching it. I'm looking at the lap times. Kurt Smith, actually last time by, was your fastest driver on track. 2nd fastest on track, that was the 33 of Dan Butler last time by. He has not been able to close the gap since we rode on board with the 33 of Dan Butler. I have noticed, though, that his driving line has started to change. He has kind of went up the track a little bit, and look at this. The gap closed there. It looks like Smith had a wiggle in his PBG mobile oil machine as we're getting 12 laps to go, and 3rd, 4th, and 5th all nose to tail down into turn 1, and now add Dan Butler because the Butler is there. So it'll be 12 laps to go here when we hit the line for these drivers. Max Terriot is already out of turn number 2, so these guys are about a straightaway behind your leaders. As Butler gonna slide that time. Here comes Coleman to the inside. He's going to make his move with just a little over 10 laps to go. Coleman to the inside of Kurt Smith. Can he put himself into that 3rd position? Down into turn 1. He has the momentum. He has the spot. Smith will fall back into the 4th position, but Coleman going to see if he can go run away and hide with this one as we look off the back here of the 97 of Coleman. Also another pass. Dan Butler looking to go to the inside now. Here on the 3 of Fritz. This race is not over, Dobbs. These boys are going to race tooth and nail to the end of this one tonight. Yeah, Dan Butler and Chris Fritz both have pitted at the same point in this race about 49 laps ago, and right now Butler still trying to work that Racing School machine into that 5th spot, and they go side by side, heads up at the line. Oh, that was too close for me to even call the timing and scoring, says Dan Butler, and now you can officially call it that the 33 of Butler has worked his way into the 5th spot. But now, Smith and Codeman have started to open up about 5 car lengths between them, maybe even 6, as we're at 7 to go this time by. Yeah, your front 2 leaders have checked out from this battle. Terriel is still out front. He has led 31 laps here tonight. He will not lead the most. That will go to Chuck Sweeting. But it's not over till the Fat Lady sings here in Stafford, Connecticut at the Stafford Motor Speedway. The half-mile bull ring playing host here to the RacingSchool.net 100. And the battle is still here. And I'm looking at it once again. Dan Butler, the fastest car on track. He is sitting 5th. Does he have enough laps to run down your leaders? It'll be 5 laps to go that time by for the driver of the 33 of Dan Butler. 877 Ken race on the back of that car. Well, Butler's racing. He is putting in work behind the wheel tonight. 4 laps to go for Max Terrion as he is into lap traffic. That's the 64 there of TJ Wood. He will go a lap down here on this long run. This run here tonight has been the longest run of the night. It has been 51 laps since the last time these drivers had a break to take a sip of their, we'll call it their racing fuel here tonight. And now 3 laps to go, Dobbs. I think Max Terrion, unless something happens here, he might be the one in the catbird seat. Popsicle sticks in the air that time by. It's 1 more mile of racing for the 42 of Max Terrion. He has a 3-second lead over TJ McGuire. And then it's Don Coleman sitting about 7 seconds back off this 42's back bumper. It is 1 lap to go here tonight. So just 1 more time around the Stafford Speedway. Max Terrion, he has won 3 races this season on Friday night with the Red Light SK Modified Series, and he's got to put the win in the books here tonight. 100 laps complete, and Max Terrion will win tonight. The Racing School 100 here from the Stafford Motor Speedway. It'll be Max Terrion winning. TJ McGuire coming home in second. Don Coleman going to go back-to-back podiums with that 97 machine. He finishes in third. Kurt Smith finishes fourth. Dan Butler finishes in the 5th spot. Chris Fritz is 6th. 7th is Brian Robinson. Josh Buckley, who spun from the lead, he was able to go back into an 8th place finish. TJ Wood is shown 9th. Doug Ungari in the 00 will finish in the 10th spot. Travis Minto is 11th. Chuck Sweeting is shown in the 12th spot. Blade Timmons is 13th. Lyle Christensen is 14th here tonight. But that is how we are going to finish this race at Stafford. Boy, oh boy, Max Terrion, the first 1 to 4 wins on the season as he parks that 42 in victory lane. We will be right back here from the Stafford Speedway to bring you the post-race show here tonight. Presented by the Racing School.
Who's in the race car? Dada. Dada? Say go, Daddy? Go, Daddy.
Welcome back here to Stafford Speedway. Race fans, 100 laps in the RacingSchool.net 100 are in the books. That means it's time for the RacingSchool.net post-race show, and I have caught up with your winner here in Victory Lane. It's Max Terriel. Max, it is your 4th win on the season. You're really setting yourself apart from these boys, but how did that track feel here tonight as the sun went down in Connecticut?
It helped cooling out the track, especially off of 4. In practice, it was very slippery, and I think I saw a couple of guys in front of me lose it, and unfortunate for Josh and Chuck, and even Blade, who were all caught up in some unfortunate incidents or bad luck, so I came out kind of lucky out of all that.
Yeah, coming out lucky sometimes is what I'm trying to say is I'd rather be lucky sometimes than good, and tonight you were the lucky one. Not that you're not good. You've obviously proven that with your 4th win of the season. The thing I'm looking at, though, Max, is you've missed 2 races on the season. You won 4 out of the 7 that you have entered. Is it a little bit too late to really start to close that gap? You came in 83 points out of the championship hunt, and now we'll have 2 races to go.
Oh, probably. I knew early on in the season I wouldn't be able to make a few races, and I'm just trying to make every race possible and do the best I can without getting into too much trouble. But it looks like nobody wants to win that championship. Even tonight, just like last week, some of the guys missed some opportunities up there. So who knows? We maybe have closer finish at the end of the season than expected.
Yeah, it is true. Max, only 2 more races left on the season. We're going to head here from Stafford, Connecticut, all the way out to the Irwindale, California at the Irwindale Speedway. How do you feel about that, or are we looking forward to, here on April 17th, the final race of the season from Martinsville?
Yeah, I've been to Irwindale once in the Super Lates. It's a fun track, as I think it was Don who asked before. It kind of reminds me of IRP a little bit, running up top. We might see some side-by-side action. We'll see with how these SK modifieds run up there. And then, last race of the season at Martinsville. Hopefully, we get the lights working over there. That'll be a good way to finish the season.
Absolutely. Well, we finished this one up here tonight at Stafford Motor Speedway. Max, you win it here for the Racing School 100. Are there anybody you got to shout out there that helps the 42 come here on a Friday night to Parker in Victory Lane again?
Yeah, shout out to Josh for running this Friday Night League, and to you guys at Turn 3 for this broadcast. It's also fun to see the Racing School back on board for a second race, I think, this season at least. Starting to be a good partner for this league, so we'll hope we get a good crowd next week also.
Well, there you heard it from your race winner here tonight at Stafford Motor Speedway. Max Terriel parks that 42 in Victory Lane for the 4th time this season. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch up with the man who finished in the 2nd spot here tonight. It's going to be TJ Wood bringing the Hoosier 83 machine home 2nd tonight, so congratulations to TJ McGuire on his 2nd place finish. But I believe, Dobbs, you have caught up with the man who's sitting on the podium here. It's his 2nd week back on the podium in 3rd.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm down here with Don Coleman. Don, 100 laps. What'd you feel like inside that car finishing 3rd?
I wish I could get the steering wheel straight more than I turned it to the right, if you know what I mean. But we just center in every corner and came out in 3rd.
Looks like there was a lot of carnage there earlier in this race. Made your way up through there, though. Got 3rd place. Good job, though. And car looks still good, though.
Well, that was thanks to the pit crew there. We did get hit early on because of a wreck really hard trying to avoid. But, hey, we came back.
2 races left. I'm pretty sure I was new to this league, and it was a good opportunity for me to come in and watch the race. Got any sponsors or anybody you'd like to thank for watching the broadcast tonight?
I'd just like to thank you guys for broadcasting it, Josh for putting it on, and honestly, real life racing, I'd like to thank Kelly Byers for helping me out there, and that'd be about it.
That's what I'm talking about, keeping it short and sweet right there. Congratulations, finishing third. Got the podium spot again, second week. So that's awesome. Roger, back to you, bud.
Well, there you heard it from the man who finishes on the podium once again. Don Coleman going to bring the iRacing.com 97 entry here tonight onto the podium in the late stages of this one. He had a good battle with the 6 of Kurt Smith back there. You gotta, hats off to the driver of the 6 of Kurt Smith. He comes in here with a lot of these veterans here, like Max Terrialt, Don Coleman, Dan Butler, and he held his own ground. He's going to come home fourth here tonight, and you got to really think about Dan Butler. It was a really rough night for the Butler. He was involved in about, I think it was 2 or 3 wrecks with that 33 car, and he battled it all the way back. I don't believe he had to use his quick repair here tonight, and he's going to finish in a 5th position. Chris Fritz, like I said, once again, does finish in the 6th spot. Brian Robinson finishes 7th. Buckley going to spin from the lead, and he finishes in the 8th spot. It's going to be unfortunate for him. He had a lot of points on the line there that he could have really closed the gap between himself, Chuck Sweeting, and Blade Timmons, with both those drivers having some really bad luck towards the middle of this race. So we're going to have to see how the point standings shake up after we leave the Stafford Motor Speedway. But we got to thank all you race fans for tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Next week, right here on Friday night, it'll be the Red Light SK Modified Series back in action from the Irwindale Speedway. Just 2 more races to go to see who will be the champion for the first season here with the SK Modifieds. Also on Monday night, the Red Light Scrambler Series is back. They're going to whip out the old Xfinity car. They're going to dust it off for the first time this season. They're going to head to the 2-mile track at Michigan International Speedway. That's Monday night, same time as the Friday night series here. 8 o'clock qualifying. You can catch all that action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, as I'll be back behind the mic. So until we see you on Monday or next Friday at Irwindale, race fans, stay safe with everything going on out there in the world. And remember, love your neighbor and call Mom and tell her you love her too.
Who's in the race car?
Dada.
Dada? Say go, Daddy?
Go, Dada.